Hi everyone, we will be starting the webinar shortly, so we will wait a while the others join us. As you can see now, the webinar ground rules has been presented to you. So this will be an hour webinar, 60 minutes on the presentations, 15 minutes on the Q&A. So please ensure the audio quality is being preserved, and all attendees are requested to be muted during these presentations. And the slides and other resources are available after the webinar. To ask a question, please enter them into the question box as you can see in the presentation slides which has been presented to you now. You can address them during Q&A sessions, and you can also test the question box function now while waiting for the rest of them to join in. Thank you. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Karen and I'm from the V1 Customer Care Center. Today we are presenting V1 Powering the Factory of Future, presented by Mr. Koo Yak Hua from the R&D department. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. If you have any questions during the presentations, please type them into the question box in your GoToWebinar control panel, as I've already briefed you earlier. I'll bring them up after the presentations, and we will also have about 15 minutes time for your questions at the end of the sessions. So now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to Mr. Koo, our presenter for today.
Thank you, Karen. It is great to be speaking to you all today. So let's proceed to the agenda today that we will cover. Please note that this document to be shared to you later on is under confidential document. So this is the topics that we are going to cover today. We will talk about the Industrial 4.0 initiative and focus, and then we will have a live demo on 4 of the major features in V1. And besides that, at the end of the presentation of the demo, we will also go through 2 of the M2M communication projects for smart conveyors integration, as well as the pick and place machines. Finally, we will have a brief overview about the V1 roadmap for the next 4 years. So what is V1? Basically, V1 is industrial 4.0 solutions that we are targeting cloud, fog, and edge processing. This is a fully flexible visualization chart and dashboard, and we can provide very meaningful insights to the end user in real-time basis. It is able to link to Oracle, Microsoft, Postgres, MySQL, and any other common databases. With that, we are targeting to extend the platform towards a complete data feeding for artificial intelligence processing. So later on, we will cover what do we mean by cloud, fog, and edge. This is the 5 major focus for our V1 platform as for today. First, we are focusing very much on the technologies innovation. The V1 solution is not just a simple web application, whereas we put a lot of effort onto the back-end processings. We are using the cloud architecture where we allows the hardware and the software to be integrated together and can be easily expand into many of the data feedings and processing. In terms of for example, you have a line today, and in the future you want to extend to 50, 100 of the lines. The solution is capable enough for you to add on the hardware anytime you need, and then it will automatically scale and load balance to ensure the performance. Besides that, there are a lot of backbone architecture being developed at the back for the AI, machine learning, and the deep learning preparation for the next 2 years. Second, this is the major topics that we are going to talk about that today. We are very much focused on the SMT productivities. So we will have a lot of real-time products matrices display in the V1 in a real-time basis. And the new e-tickets mobile notification is also able to help the production to drive the immediate actions whenever there is any abnormality found. And there are also one of the famous topic where a lot of people is concerned about, am I utilize the machine efficiently in the production floor? So there are also machine utilization matrices that can be linked up to the V1. The next phase is basically focusing on the process automation. Besides of improve the productivity, we also looking into the automation by collaboration with a lot of vendors in the SMT. So we do have certain projects with the pick and place machines maker, for example, automatic offset, and also have a reflow monitoring systems, as well as a smart conveyor. There are basically more to come. Besides that, to improve the automation, there are lots of enhancement in the 3D AOI platform, but we are not going to cover today. It will be covered during the AOI topics in the future. As a vision company, we also seriously look into the false call reduction. There are lots of efforts being put into the programming stage as well. And a lot of auto assignment can basically reduce any human error during they are developing the algorithm in order to inspect the SMT board. In the future, we are basically targeting within 3 quarters time, we are going to launch another AI auto classification. It is basically undergoing development stage. Later on, we will share a conceptual ideas on how we are going to do it in the future. Lastly, we would like to emphasize that V1 is an open platform. So we are open for any other third parties plugins or integration that link to the V1 platform. We have fully supported the CFX communication protocol that introduced by IPC recently for the recent 2 years. And also there are lots of common protocol available in the V1, for example, AMQP from VFX, MQTT, JSON, REST. JSON will be the format that most commonly used in today's IT world. We also allows a lot of different data source to be linked up to the V1 that we are going to talk later on. So let's move toward to the first topic, technology innovation. We would like to take this opportunity to introduce what do we mean by cloud, fog, and edge. So take for example, you have a factories that contain 2 SMT line. So this is a 2 line within the factory. You can invest with what we call it a fog server. It will be a local servers that located in that particular factory's private network. Most of the customers today is basically using a fog server within the company. You can see that 2 of the line will be linked up to this fog server, and then we can go through a firewall or a VPN. So this is all located within the factory. This is what we call it link up to the fog server from the edge. The edge is meaning that we have the tools that able to install into different kind of machine, not just limited to ViTrox machine, but other equipment as well. And it is meant to do edge processing such as clean up the data, collect the data, tidy up the data in the correct format, and then send over to the fog server for real-time display and processing purpose. So the fog server is meant to located near to the factory, within the factory, so that we can do all the real-time processing. For example, if we would like to show a 1 hour or the 3 hours of the line performance, such as what is the top false call, what is the top defects found, what is the performance cycle time, yield, and so on and so forth in a real-time basis, then you should invest a fog server that put it located into your factory. There are a lot of people is talking about cloud. So what is means by the cloud? Cloud is meant for put a server that into the internet far away from your network. Because of the network's infrastructure limitation, cloud is not meant for any real-time processing, but it's more towards a linkage between a few plants for you to do any later processing. For example, you would like to know within 1 month, how is your factory performance? So this, you could invest into a cloud servers that you can connect multiple fog servers from the plant in order to display the summary of what is the utilization for a month for each of the machines. But for the real-time utilization display, you should put it into the fog server. V1 is flexible enough for you to configure into fog server or cloud server. This is the architecture that located within the factory premise. For your information, the V1 does not store any data. We basically able to link up to different data source simultaneously in the same time. We can see that multiple of the machine, for example, SPI is connected to a single data source. In our case, we are recommended 8 machines to one data source. So you can see the AOI, X-ray is also pushing all the data to the local, what we call it the VDSPC, is a MySQL database. And V1 will link up to all these database in order to provide a real-time displays into your touch TV in the production floor, into your computers using the web browser, or even into your mobile phone. This is what we're showing how V1 server is connected to different database and the different type of machines in order to display all the real-time production matrices. In the past, we have released a V1 version 2 last year. The version 2 has been improved a lot, no matter from the back-end architecture processing, as well as a lot of enhancement in the GUI. We preserve the 5 major features: dashboard, data analysis, status monitoring, remote control, and alert. And the upcoming that we launched last month, it is the e-tickets module. The e-tickets come with the mobile applications that allows you to receive notification. We will talk about each of the feature later on. The second focus is productivity. This is very much concerned by all the customers. So what we are focusing is the dashboard and the data analysis. Couple of these two modules allows you to have the real-time productivity metrics display, your yield, your cycle time, your core rates, your top 5 defects, and all the major key indicators can be customized into V1. We will show a live demo later on. And coupled with the e-tickets, it is designed for the production to drive the actions in the production flow. All those tickets can be delivered through mobile application to the user in a real-time basis. So this is the first dashboard that basically a default dashboard that's available in V1. It is meant for monitoring the performance summary. I will now show a live demo. All right, this is a live demo in the cloud. You can see that at the top, there is the AOI performance summary. You can enjoy the same dashboard as what you have for your X-ray as well. From here, what we can see, it is display all the machines. What is the model? Let me make it larger. So what is the model? How many fail board? How many pass board? How many false call board? Total board, your FBY. You can also set the limit to display whether it is in a red color or it is in a green color. And also the false call PPM will be displayed as well. The last inspection date. And at the bottom, there is a first pass year and a post yield trend for the now 3 or 1 hours time frame. And the false call breakdown, true call breakdown. The new enhancement that available in V1 version 3 that you are seeing now, it allows you to do interactive interaction. For example, if I found that there is one of the model has not up to the yield that what we expected, you can click on that. When you click on that particular model, all the other chart will be automatically synced. As you can see, there is a filters that we already turned on the sync interaction. This means your interaction towards one of the chart can basically sync up all the other charts. So when I selected that particular model, the FBY and the post view will display based on that model, as well as the false call defect breakdown and also the true call defects breakdown. This is what we call automatic synchronization across the whole dashboard. Let's move to the second dashboard. So the machine summary, the overall yield, and the breakdown that what we displayed just now. We also have machines monitoring. In this case, it is for the AOI. This is meant for displaying the matrices for that particular line, the AOI performance. So the total board will be displayed in a real-time basis in a time trend. And also there is a last 100 boards result together with what is the last results that we are running. Let me show a live one. So from here, as you can see, for the whole time trend, every single hours, the total NG-PCB and the total PCB that inspected will be displayed, as well as that particular machines, the past 100 boards, how many force call, how many through call, and what is the model that currently running, what is the cycle time, total component, and so on. So this can basically help you to monitor your line in a real-time basis. The force call analysis allows you to analyze the force call in the top part number, by device type, by reference designator, and also there is a pie chart for the force call breakdown. It is the same that you can click on the model, and then all the other charts will filter accordingly. This is what we call it an interactive click. Besides that, we are also allows you to do a right click into one of the data that you are interested. For example, if you would like to understand the top part number that happening the force call for that particular model, you can basically right click on that part number, and then allows you to click on the force call image list, and all the image for that particular bars that you are interested will be displayed. Let me show you the live demo. For example, if this is the model that you're interested on, when you click, the whole force call analysis chart will be filtered according to that particular model. Same as this dashboard. If I'm interested on the top part number, for example, for this particular part number, I can make a right click, drill down, force call images list. You click on that. You can see that for that particular part number, all the images will be shown. From here, it is very useful for the engineers to do any debuggings on what is the model, what is the top failure in the line in the real-time basis easily. I hope that this particular automatic synchronization, as well as a right-click drill down to images, can actually help the production immediate action to react on any abnormality found. We also have a defects images viewer. This is also requested by a lot of customers. With the interactive click, the same you could limit that particular information into maybe the last 1 hours. When you found that there are lots of missing, for example, there are lots of missing, you can click on that, and the whole image chart list can be filtered accordingly based on what you are interested on. This is a drill down. We have been promoting a lot during the version 2, but the version 2 is unable to allow you to drill down components of for that particular top defects to the images, but it is now available in version 3. There are lots of requests towards how can we monitor the utilization on the line. All the machine is able to put in the agent and then link up to the Fox server in a real-time basis. Later on, we can compile based on every single status that running in the machine. For example, if you putting a board into the machine, whenever it is touched the in sensors, the information will be generated and pushed to the cloud server. And then you are allowed to access to the cloud server to take a look on what is the real-time status that happening for that particular machine. In the past, the version 2, we only have one of the features such as the machine utilization calculation, as well as the real-time bots that running on the line. But today, we also make it available for you to take a look on what is the summary of the utilization. So for example, let me select one of the machine. This is a summary dashboard on how you take a look on the daily machine utilization. Each of the machine will be sending different status. So take for example, this is the X-ray machine. It will be breakdown for all the status. You can see that the upstream idling and the production running takes up how many percent of the overall time, and all the details will be displaying over here, the machine utilization summary table. At the bottom, it is a trend, and each of the bar is representing one day. So for that particular day, how many hours that used for the programming time, for the running time, how long that basically the machine disconnected, or there's any encounters, machine setup or error. From here, if I'm interested on how much downstream block the 5.22 hours, I can click on that, and because of the automatic synchronization feature, you can easily analyze what is the downtime across every day. This is a very powerful features for the management in order to track, am I utilize the machine correctly? And this can basically help you to improve, to optimize your line utilization. This is the same features as the version 2, whereas you can also drill down to that particular minutes, what happened on that particular machine. We have a lot of real-time monitoring dashboard that allows human to take a look on the dashboard and drill down to the root cause. But we are unable to ask the technician to always monitor on that particular dashboard. With the upcoming version 3 features that we are going to launch, this feature basically allows the production to drive the real-time actions. The use model, for example, we have 2 lines, and moving towards Industrial 4.0, we are going to reduce the technician into only 1, whereas previously we do have 2 technicians that take care of the line. From here, there is a control center being set up, and the V1 is installed. If there is any abnormality or the errors or the high force call that happening in the line, all the real-time data will be displayed in the control center. This is how one of our customer set up in their production floor that running today. It is very much help them to reduce their cost accordingly. They do have one of the operators that controlling the control center. Whenever there's any abnormality being found, the operator will open the tickets, and that tickets will basically delivered to the technician's mobile phone in a real-time basis. We will show you a live demo later on. So when the technicians receive the notification, the notification basically is telling the technician the problem is happening in the line 1, and the technician will go over to the line 1 and to fix the problem. Whenever the problem is fixed, the technician is allowed to key in any comments or any actions that being taken, and then to close the ticket, and finally the control center will receive the problem is being resolved. From there, there is also a report that you could generate it for your future training purposes. This is one of the live example that our customer is using it today. Whenever there's an AOI yield drop, we can either ask the operator to open the tickets, or we can also set up an alert plan automatically trigger this particular ticket from the system. Take for example, the username is root is represent, this is the automatic triggered ticket. The tag category is AOI yield drop, is from line 1, which machine. The problem is production yield drop. Previously is 99%, currently is 98%. And the issues is basically on which model and total board run, pass board, and the fail board. From here, the technician can take a look on what is the problem happened. This is the dashboard that used by the operator control center. It will display what is how many open ticket, how many currently repaired, monitored, closed, and total ticket quantity for today. There is also the different kind of issues breakdown Pareto, as well as the details of the ticket being shown for today. I'm going to show a demonstration videos.
Introducing the latest Industrial 4.0 solution. Now, enhanced with mobile app version that will help you to optimize your manufacturing process in real-time basis alongside its advanced features such as e-ticket notification. When there is a problem with your machine, you can create a new ticket through the mobile app or any other devices. There are a few customized e-ticket templates provided in V1. You may request the V1 team to build a new template that will specifically cater to your needs too. It is hassle-free to create and assign tasks to the engineers or user group whom you prefer. Once the e-ticket has submitted, the assigned engineer will receive a ticket notification from mobile simultaneously. They can add comments or mark as repairing for the e-ticket progression. After the stated issue has resolved by the engineer, they will indicate the reason or remark to the manager for the reference. The manager will receive a reply notification instantly. They can add comments, mark as monitoring, or mark as closed upon the issue. With these new features, your dream towards no touchline and smart manufacturing will be fulfilled in no time.
So that is basically a live demonstration to show how is the use model being used in the production floor. This is a flow that basically we customize in the e-tickets template. We are going to show you how flexible is that. Imagine that you have a machine maintenance ticketing template. You can also allow the QA to create any other template based on the QA issue. Let me show you. When the engineer is going to mark as repair, it will go to the repairing, and it is allowed to go to the close and the monitoring. Let me show the settings how we created one of the tickets. Let me move to the settings. So the admin is allowed to create a ticket template. So what is ticket template? Basically, it's a subsystem. I'm now clicking the edit button. So for the first step, we are allowed to target what is the user for that particular ticket. In this case, we are targeting the technicians in the line. We also allow the user to configure what is the ticket's content. This is the example that we are showing in the video previously. So if you found that you would need to add another new field, we can always click the edit buttons here by the administrator, and then you can add a new field into the tickets. This will be the new field created, and then you can click on that. You can name what is the name for your tickets. The most important portion will be the status. Take for example, we configured the tickets template into whenever there's an open status, we only can proceed to repairing. When the technician click on the repairing, you can see that we only allow to move to the close, or if the issue is required monitoring, we can allow them to do a monitoring. Whenever the ticket is under monitoring, we allow them to go to close, or they can back to the repairing stage. Whenever there is a close, you couldn't do anything anymore on the tickets, but you can still do the comments afterwards. So take for example, if I would like to add a new status called top urgent issues, I would like the technician to focus on all the top urgent issues. I can basically add, and then I can put the top urgent. The status name is top urgent, and for example, I would like to use this icon, make it a red color. And then when there's a top urgent, basically when the open, we allow them to go to top urgent, and when the top urgent is allowed to go to repairing, and then I save. So from here, when I open a new ticket, I can use back the existing ticket that we already created. Basically, a lots of tickets is already been closed. You can see the first one that we created. You can now mark as top urgent. So with that, it allows you to customize your own flow as what we stated in the slide just now. So for the whole ticket template, we allows you to customize based on your production needs. You can even create a new QA's monitoring system. Whenever there's any QA issues, we allows you to create the tickets, and then the notification will deliver to the target audience, and eventually you can resolve the ticket in a real-time basis. For the mobile phone specification, we required you have minimum 3 gig of RAM and the octa-core for the processors. Of course, the Android version has to be at least 5.1 and also the Lollipop above. That is very common nowadays. This is one of the features that will allow the control center to remote over to that particular target machine to do any remote fine-tunings or any remote resolving on that particular machine issues. Next, we are going to talk about the process automation improvement. One of the topics that we are going to touch today will be the conveyors. We have received a lot of requests on the conveyors integration, the smart buffer stackers communication. Today, we made available for 3 common protocols here, depending on different process flow. We allow you to connect using the I/O directly to the PLC. Second one, allows you to communication using the COM RS232. Lastly, this will be the preferred protocols, but it requires a more high-end PLCs in order to communicate using TCP/IP. This is one of the common use model today. In order to reduce the operator, we reduce the VBTS station by connecting 2 or 4 AOI into one buy-off station. Whenever the defects found, the operator will buy off in the centralized VBTS station, and the defects results will be sending back to the machine. And we are going to communicate with the conveyor. For example, if the slot 5 initially is a reject, and then the operator is already marked it as a pass board, the signals will be sending back to the machine, and the machine will communicate through the RS232 COM to the buffer stacker, telling that the slot 5 is a good board, and then the buffer stacker will release the board accordingly. We already made it available for YJ-Link conveyor. For the other type of the conveyor, it will require certain customizations work. Now we move to the pick and place. For the pick and place, basically we do have a project with Fuji. So one of the project is we are basically communicate through the Nexim solution, the Nexim software. The POC is done for the first phase, running in the production floor. What we are doing here is whenever the pre-reflow AOI, after the inspection done, the components offset X and Y will be sending over through the Nexim. So when the Nexim receives that particular results, let me proceed to the next. When the Nexim receives the results, it will be automatically calculated based on every 7 records. So take for example, we have some examples over here. Below is the CPI number. The CPI number represents 1 board inspection results. So from here, every 7 cycles, Nexim software will automatically calculate every single component. Is there any offset required? If the offset is out of the sigma value that Fuji Nexim software calculated, it will automatically send the compensation value back to their mounters. From there, it will automatically offset for the next cycle. For example, in this case, there are 7 cycles. You can see that 240 micron, 244 micron offset is basically detected in the pre-reflow AOI. After the compensation done, it will becoming lesser, nearer to the 0 for the offset that what they place. It is still continue to repeat after 7 cycles and 7 cycles. This is also one of the real results that we collected from the POC line. Whenever the offset found, After the automatic compensation from Fuji software, the placement is much more stable afterwards. This is the raw data that we collected. One of the images that we can show here, the component is placed offset, and after the compensation is basically placed more accurately in the center. Anyhow, this particular project, the report has been done, but is under discussion with Fuji R&D. We are unable to publish the full report yet. There are lots of constraints that we found. For example, if the Fuji machine hardware does not calibrate accordingly, or the AOI program doesn't fine-tune accordingly, this will basically result the automatic offset doesn't function well. We found that there are certain components does not correct well. From here, there are lots of constraints and a lot of enhancement that to be developed from Fuji and as well as our ViTrox software. We are going to publish the report whenever it's available. This is another project that we run in one of our customer site. The pick and place used is ASM, Siemens. From here, we could set up the pick and place nozzle, the feeder, the head information into the AOI. And once the inspection done, all the records will be sending over to the V1. User is allowed to do the drill down. What is the top problem that happened on which is the nozzle on the ASM machine? So this is very much on the analysis purpose. How the user using that is whenever there is a top failure found on that particular nozzle or feeder, the user is going back to the ASM machine and to do fine tuning on that. Force field reduction project. There are lots of improvement that done in the AOI. For example, the 3D AOI algorithm enhancement, the auto-knurling during the device assignment. Previously, there are lots of issues that due to the human error, due to the algorithm fine-tune or assigned wrongly, it basically result a lot of false call being detected in the production floor. The program library standardization, part library standardization, as well as a lot of hardware enhancement on the projector. This is all the enhancement that done on the machine start in order to moving towards a better quality on the inspection. We are not going to cover the AOI portion today. On the force field reduction, this is the conceptual graph that what we are going to do in the next coming 1 year. For the X-ray projects, we do collaborate with chip maker company I, on the AI, artificial intelligence judgment. As you can see, all the result from the repair station we're sending to our Fox server, and the V1 is going to analyze based on the operator's action, and then based on the learning from the past at least 50 boards, we will generate a classification model. From here, whenever the next board coming into the buy-off station, we are going to allow the operator to look into the probability score. For example, it will tell you that there are 70% this part is defective. So this number is basically can be utilized as a reference for the operator in order to do the judgment. The project is still under development. There are lots of algorithm and the POC project to be done. Once there is any reports, we will publish in the future webinar. We are also allow any other third-party AI model to be integrated. We found that nowadays there are lots of investment into AI. So if there is any customers would like to develop their own AI platform, we are very much welcome to be integrated into our system as well. If you have any requests, you may refer to our customer care team in the future. Lastly, we would like to take this opportunity to talk about the CFX and also the Hermes standard. V1 is an open platform where we support a lot of standardization on the communication or even on the protocol. Today, we allow a lot of API that installed in the machine or in the VDS PC, the SPC data warehouse. You can basically use a REST call to the VDS PC to pull the data into V1 or the third-party system, besides of using the database connection directly. There are lots of topics today. Talk about what is IPC CFX and also Hermes standard. A simple description for the CFX is meant for vertical integration. It is very much similar to your MES, your shop floor, or your IT own shop floor system. All the data from the line will sending vertically to your shop floor or your database and store over there for any other future processings. That is what we call it connected factory exchange. From here, CFX selected the AMQP protocol. Later on, we will have a link for you if you would like to understand more. It is basically a protocol that's supported by at least 30 SMT vendors. So moving forwards in the future, the format will be standardized and everyone is talking on the same language. It will be beneficial for the SMT vendor as well as the customer on how to tap on the data that's sending out from the SMT line. Secondly, we have a Hermes standard. The Hermes standard is meant for horizontal integration, whereas the information is passed from the first station to the second to the third. Take for example, as for today, the whole line is using SMEMA. The Hermes standard is going to officially replace and announce as the IPC successor for the SMEMA. SMEMA is for the board available signals to the next station to the next station. With the Hermes standard, we could pass the signal more than the board available. For example, you could invest only one barcode reader in the front. Once it is scanned, the barcode information will pass from station 1 to the station 2 to the station 3 and so on. From here, basically it saves you a lot of barcode readers that you are currently invest in the line. If you would like to understand more on the IPC communication, you could visit this www.ipc-cfx.org. There are many vendors is already supported these particular standards. Current working draft will be published, I think it will be next month. You can visit this website to take a look on more details. The Hermes standard, it will be officially announced as the IPC Hermes 9852. It will be the successor of IPC's SMEMA 9851. So if you would like to automatically open your conveyor weave, for example, you could refer to this IPC Hermes standards in the future. It is still under working development today. This is all our partners that currently we are working on. Lastly, we would like to take this opportunity to talk about our roadmaps in the future. In the past, before year 2017, basically focused on the platform development. So we focused on Linux, cloud, web technology, NoSQL databases, container Docker, generic multi-DB adapter. There are lots of efforts being putting into to develop the correct platform for the future next 10 years. This year, we are focusing on application. The application is mainly for the SMT industry, whereas we understand what is the needs, what is the key matrices, what is the abnormality detection rules, the machine monitoring, alert triggering, and so on. So this is what we are going to focus this year until the end. On the past, we released the version 2. There are lots of features being developed. And this year, we're releasing version 3 with the e-tickets and the mobile application. Upcoming, we will have a new data management module that will be add on into the V1, how to manage a large data pool from the machines. The S1 SPC and also the AI analytic collaboration project is undergoing development today. Next year, we are going to focus a lot on the AI MLDL platform. So by this year, we are going to complete the complete data feeding from the AOI, SPI, X-ray, Oven, pick and place. So all the linkage will be done. And moving towards next year, we will very much focus on how to make use of the data. There are lots of collaboration being undergoing today. Whenever there's any report that we could publish, we will put it as a next webinar. Moving towards 2020, we are going to do the AI knowledge transfer. So besides of targeting the machine vision's AI, ML, DL, we are going to transfer the AI model into the next process. For example, any other linkage between the SPI, pick and place. So all the AI modeling will be doing the transfer. This is what we are going to target for the next 2 years. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Koo. We will go ahead and take some time for the questions now. I can see there's a few questions is already in the box. The first question goes to machine refer to what type of machine? How about hand tool welding machines been posted by Francis Yeo? Koo, maybe you can answer that.
Thank you. So basically the question is about how about hand tools welding machine. So for example, V1 requires you to minimally have the log file. So in this case, if your hand tools welding machine is able to generate the data and put into, for example, a folder with some log files, V1 is able to customize some script, put it into your hand tools machine, print out all your log files, and then sending over to the V1. We basically allow customizations on different data put into the V1, and we can build a different dashboard based on your needs. This is what we consider a customized work. So if you would like to connect your hand tools welding machine, you may contact our customer care team and provide necessary information. So with V1, we believe that at least you have the log file generated. It should be not a big issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Koo. Next question is from Ragnar Vega. Will V1 be able to support digital twin concept in the future? Koo, maybe you can answer this too.
For digital twin, I am not sure what is that mean by digital twins. Perhaps the candidate can pose again. What do you mean by digital twin? So we will answer accordingly later on.
Okay, I can see that it's Ragnar Vega from Zalone. I can write you a separate email about it. Okay, thank you. We take note of that and we will reply you separately. Thank you, Mr. Ragnar Vega. While waiting for those attendees to post their questions, I also like to inform that we also have our customer care email addresses. We also has a chat that you can always go in and post your questions at any time that you want, and we'll be very much happy to assist you at any time. You can always visit our website for those contact details at V1's official website. Okay, looks like we have covered all your questions. So, Mr. Koo, is there anything else you wanted to cover before we wrap up?
I think we are good for now. So thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure being with you today.
Great. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here. So, as I said, if you have any more questions, please do post to us as the information is provided in the screen at this moment. So, thanks again for joining us today, and we will see you next time.